Welcome back. Today had some surprises around the National Hockey League, didn't it? 9-game day and a ton of surprises, really, when you look at the all-around picture of things. Maybe it's just a Sunday thing. We'll see if it continues throughout the week, but it does make it kind of fun when the results are less predictable. All right, so Buffalo in St. Louis to start things off. It's Luukkonen against Binnington. The Blues press at 2 minutes. There's good forechecking by the Sabres on the next shift. The shots are 3-0 for the Blues, though, at 4 minutes. Blues press at 5.5 minutes, and then on a face-off win, on their first shot, Buffalo scores. It's Krebs from Byram and Dahlin at 6:52. Krebs just puts in what was a nice pass in close. 1-0 Buffalo. Kyrie's denied on back-to-back chances. Luukkonen holds there. The shots are 5-1 for St. Louis at 9.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Blues. That's killed off. The Sabres would get a turn on the power play, and on their third shot, they score. It's a slot shot via 3-on-2 and close. Thompson from Zucker on the power play at 13:06. It's 2-0 Buffalo. Sabres go back to the power play. That becomes 4-on-4. During the 4-on-4 off a face-off win, Schenn would score. Parayko and Neighbors with the assists at 15:47. And after that, everything gets killed off. The Blues press with a minute and a half left. It's 2-1 Buffalo after one. Second period, the Blues press early. The shots are 2-0 St. Louis at 3.5 minutes. Kyrou has a wraparound chance that's saved. Thompson has a net feed that's picked off. We get a power play for the Blues. That's killed off. Krebs fires one wide on a rush. The Blues press are kept to the outside. We get a power play for St. Louis. Bolduc's denied and close during that. That is killed off by the Sabres. Shots are 8-4 for St. Louis with 5.5 minutes left. Benson misses one high on a fast break. The Blues press with 4 minutes left. Kulich has a rush chance that's kicked aside. It remains 2-1 Buffalo after two. Third period, a crossbar and out for Robert Thomas. The teams exchange rushes. The shots are 2-0 Buffalo at 4 minutes. Blues press at 4.5 minutes, and eventually they tie it. Walker buries a rebound. Parayko and Toropchenko with the assists at 5:56, so 2-2 tie. Sabres press at 9 minutes. They end up drawing a power play during that, and Zucker scores on it at 10:28. It is Zucker from Quinn and Thompson. Kyrou's then denied and close as St. Louis is looking to answer, but from the sharp angle on a rush, Kulich scores. Benson with the assist at 16:17, making it 4-2 for the Sabres. Goalie pull happens with 3:30 left. With 2:13 left, the Blues call a timeout. Whatever they discussed does not work. Buffalo goes into St. Louis and wins 4-2. They go to 14-19-4 with their third win in a row. St. Louis drops to 17-17-4 on the season. The shots favored St. Louis the whole way through. 15-6 in the first, 11-6 in the second, 11-4 in the third. Final shots 37-16 for St. Louis. Power plays Buffalo 2 for 3, St. Louis 0 for 4. That's a big part of the story right there. The hits 19-13 for Buffalo. Luukkonen saves 35 out of 37. Binnington saves 12 out of 16. Rough day for Binnington. Great day for Luukkonen and for Sabres fans. All right, next up, the Oilers and the Ducks. So it was Pickard versus Dostal. Good early back and forth. The fans call when the referee does not. The shots are only one apiece at 5.5 minutes. Things get punchy at the benches, so it becomes 2 minutes of 4-on-4, which then becomes a 4-on-3 power play for the Oilers, and they score on it at 8:03. Draisaitl is a one-timer that just gets through Dostal and goes in. McDavid and Bouchard with the assists. 1-0 Edmonton. Ducks get a power play. That's killed off. And then with Arvidsson just out of the box, he gets an assist on a goal by Bouchard at 11:49. Brown and Arvidsson with the assists. It's 2-0 Oilers. And then the Oilers look for another. Looks like they're home free. This is going to be a very big game for them. But from the left circle on a rush, Cutter Gauthier scores. Lacombe with the assist at 13:52. That makes it 2-1. And then with 1:19 left, the Ducks get a 4-minute power play. So it's 2-1 Edmonton after two, or after one, I should say, and going into the second period. The Ducks with some good amount of time left on that double minor. However, the Ducks struggle to set up at all. The Oilers end up finishing the kill. 2 total shots for Anaheim during the 4-minute power play. McDavid then has a net drive that's saved. Ducks draw another power play. That leads to a shorthanded chance for Nurse that's saved. In fact, I think the Oilers had better chances shorthanded than the Ducks did on that power play, which is killed off. Things are pushy on a hold by Pickard. The Oilers get another power play. They score on this one. At 9:10, it's Draisaitl wiring one from the slot. McDavid and Hyman with the assists. So 2 power play goals for Edmonton, 2 goals for Draisaitl. They're up 3-1. Things look pretty easy. The Oilers press for another, but at 12:19, Helleson, it's a point shot that deflects in. Terry with the assist, that makes it 3-2. In fact, the shots are 15-5 for Anaheim with 4.5 minutes left. And then on a turnover, Anaheim goes tic-tac-toe. Fabry ends up burying it. McTavish and Gauthier with the assists at 17:33. Somehow, this game is tied at 3. 1:03 left. The Oilers get a power play, so that rolls over into the third period. Again, with this game tied at 3. The Ducks finish the kill. 1 shot for Edmonton during that. We then get a power play for Anaheim. Again, the Oilers prevent a setup. That's killed off. There's a press by Edmonton at 6 minutes. The shots are 6-5 Edmonton, with 9 minutes left. Ducks have a 4-on-2 that misfires. The Oilers building some momentum late. Strome, it appeared, nearly jammed one in. And they go to commercial. And as they're going to commercial, you can hear Louis DeBrusk going, because I think he knew that was in. And it was. They came back from the commercial, and it shows that Ryan Strome does get that puck in the net. Terry with the assist at 17:24. That's Strome's first goal in 13 games. So the goaltender pull takes place. There's an empty net miss by Fabry, but at 19:08, McTavish hits the empty net from Fabry, and Anaheim with an upset victory over the Oilers. They go to 14-17-4 with the 5-3 win. The Oilers drop to 21-12-3 on the season. Shots on net, 6-5 Anaheim in the first. 17-8 Anaheim in the second, 10-9 Edmonton in the third. Final shots are 32-23 for Anaheim. Power plays, Edmonton 2 for 3, Anaheim 0 for 5. So if Anaheim had any kind of power play, this would have been more lopsided. The hits, 26-13 for Anaheim. Pickard saves 27 out of 31. Dostal, 20 saves on 23 shots. All right, next up, Washington and Detroit. So Lindgren versus Lyon. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Just mind-boggling. All right. Edvinsson to Raymond near miss. And then at 3:19 on their second shot, the Detroit Red Wings get the first goal. It's Sherratt firing one past the screen. Sider with the assist. So 1-0 Detroit. The Wings look for another. The shots are 3-1 in favor of Detroit 5 minutes in. Detroit then draws a power play and they score on it. It is Patrick Kane from the right circle going glove side. Gustafsson and Raymond with the assists at 6:44. So it's 2-0 for Detroit. The Wings go back to the power play. That's killed off. And then at 12:04, it's Ovechkin. He's 24 short of Gretzky now. He scores, wires it from his spot. Chychrun and McMichael with the assists, so that makes it a 2-1 game. But at 12:35, so 31 seconds later, Detroit gets the 2-goal lead back. It's DeBrincat from Kane. Very important point for Kane. That puts him at 1,300 in his NHL career. And then at 14:18, Raymond scores from Larkin and Veleno. So it's 4-1 in favor of Detroit. What's going on here? We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Things are pushy at the horn. The Wings with a power play to start the second period as a result. So it's 4-1 Detroit. To start the second period, the Caps finish the power play in that it was the entire 2 minutes at the start of the period. So they do kill that off. We then get a power play for Washington. Wilson to Strome. There's a near miss there. That power play is killed off. Caps press at 6 minutes. There's a stick save on Roy from the slot. The Caps go back to the power play. That becomes a 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Shots are 6-5 Detroit with 7.5 minutes left. Mangiapane fires one wide on a rush. McMichael runs out of room on a breakaway. I think he just overthought it. Caps press with 4.5 minutes left, but it remains 4-1 Detroit after 2. Third period, Ovechkin has a one-timer that's held. The shots are 2-0 Washington, 4 minutes in. Fans call one. The referee does not. We're down to one referee at this point. One referee getting hurt. I think it was Steve Kazari that got hurt, so hopefully he's fine. But at the rest of the way, it was, I think it was Graham Skilleter was the other referee in this one. The Caps press at 5 minutes. DeBrincat has a rush chance that's held. The Canes have a net feed that's blocked. Kane's net feed is blocked. Not the Canes, just Kane. Patrick Kane, his net feed is blocked. The shots are 7-4 for the Caps at the half. At 10:27, Nick Dowd buries one in close to get this one a little bit closer. Radish and Duhaime with the assists. So now it's 4-2. Caps press for another. Bergeron has a rush chance that's gotten held. Wings press with 7 minutes left. The goalie pull would happen with 1:50 left. With 1:28 left, it becomes a 6-on-4, and Detroit survives that. They win this one 4-2. They go to 14-18-4 with the win. With the loss, Washington 24-10-2 on the season. Shots on net, 13-6 Detroit in the first, 9-7 Washington in the second, 13-7 Washington in the third. Final shots, 28-27 for Washington. Power plays, Washington 0 for 3, Detroit 1 for 4. The hits, 21-12 Washington. Lindgren saves 23 out of 27. Lions save 26 out of 28. And if I'd done the power rankings tonight, Detroit would not have been last. They are not last on the power rankings as we are speaking right now. All right, last game on this board is Montreal and Tampa. There's a pattern. Let's see if this one lives up to it. So it's Montembeault versus Johansson in this one. Gallagher can't bury one in close. Shots are one apiece, 3.5 minutes in. Bolts press at 7 minutes. Points denied. The Habs rush. Perbix has a net feed that's picked off. And then at 12:07, Newhook with a one-timer from the slot opens the scoring for Montreal. Matheson in line 8 with the assists. Suzuki then has a rush chance that's held. Asimont has a wraparound, which is saved. Dvorak's denied on a 2-on-1 rush with 1:41 left. Tampa Bay gets a power play. That rolls over into the second period. Montreal ahead 1-0. So after the kill, on a rush, Hagel buries one from the slot. This is shortly after the kill's done at 37 seconds. So Tampa Bay ties it at 1. Bolts then go back to the power play. Montreal kills that one off as well. Strong forechecking by Montreal or by Tampa Bay. However, Montreal gets some pressure 4.5 minutes in. Armia has a slot shot that's saved. The shots are 4 apiece, 7 minutes into the period. Point has a net drive chance that's held. Suzuki fires one wide as the Habs press. The teams trade rushes. Eventually, Caden Gooley adds one for Montreal to put them back in the lead. It's a point shot past a screen. Carrier and Anderson with the assist, 12:34. Alexander Carrier's been an excellent pickup for the Montreal Canadiens. Habs look for another. We have a post for Savard. More pressure after that. 3:52 left. Montreal gets a power play. That's killed off. But then on a rush, Evans keeps the hot streak going. He scores from Armia and Carrier at 18:28, but Tampa Bay would answer. At 18:54, Kucherov puts a loose puck into the net. I think Montembeault figured he had it. He did not. The assists to Radish and Point. That makes it 3-2 for Montreal after 2. Third period. The lone shot on net is Montreal's 3 minutes in, so they were controlling Tampa pretty well early in the period. Anderson's denied on a net drive. The Habs press at 5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 8-0. Montreal 7 minutes into the period. We then get a power play for Tampa. That's killed off. And at 12:31, Armia wires one on a rush. The assist to Heineman there. 5:19 left. The Habs get a power play. That's killed off, but it takes 2 minutes off the clock. Tampa Bay pulls the goalie, which allows Gallagher to hit the empty net from Anderson and Carrier at 18:07. So Alexander Carrier with 3 assists today. And Montreal goes into Tampa and wins after winning in Florida yesterday. So Montreal 16-17-3 with the 5-2 win. Tampa Bay 20-12-2. I wouldn't plan my parade route yet if I'm Montreal, but I would understand fans being kind of excited with how things are going for the Habs. Shots on net, 10-9 Tampa in the first, 14-8 for Montreal in the second, 13-5 Montreal in the third. They outshoot Tampa Bay 36-23. What an impressive road game. Power plays, Montreal 0 for 2, Tampa Bay 0 for 3. The hits 20-18 Montreal. Montembeault saves 21 out of 23. Johansson saves 31 out of 35 at the other end. It's time to change boards. All right, so 5-game board because there's 9 games today, so I thought, sure, why not? All right, so Islanders and Pittsburgh. It was Hogberg versus Nedeljkovic. So Hogberg getting a start. It breaks this long run of either Varlamov or Sorokin getting starts. In fact, I think it was 2022 when Corey Schneider started a game was the last time an Islanders goaltender was not Sorokin or Varlamov to start a game. And I just say that because it was their trivia answer. So just throwing that out there. Early press by the Penguins. They're kept to the outside. The shots are 3-2 Pittsburgh at 3.5 minutes. And at 3:54, Beauvillier roofs one from in close. Bunting and Grzelcyk with the assists. So the former member of the New York Islanders getting a goal there. Penguins look for another. Then there's a press by Pittsburgh at 7.5 minutes. Neither team was getting shots from in close the rest of the way through that period for the most part. Pulock has a point shot that's kicked aside. The teams trade turnovers. Pittsburgh presses with a minute and a half left. It's 1-0 in favor of the Penguins after 1. Second period, there's an early power play for the Penguins, and they score on it. At 1:36, it's Bunting from Crosby and Tomasino on a nice pass from behind the net by Crosby. Crosby has now officially passed Mario Lemieux. He is now number 1 on the all-time assist list for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they didn't take this one away from him like they did in the last game. Penguins press at 2.5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 12-2 for Pittsburgh 6 minutes into the period. Rust's denied on a breakaway. Things get punchy on a hold by Hogberg. We get a power play for the Islanders. Not long after that, Horvat has a slot shot that's saved. That power play is killed off. Siplikov has a chance that's blocked out. The Penguins press with 6.5 minutes left. There's near miss for Malkin. They get more pressure there. There's a post for O'Connor. It's all Penguins. And then with 2:43 left, the Islanders get a power play. That's killed off. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh after 2. Third period, Rust has a rush chance that's held. The shots are 3-2 Pittsburgh, 4 minutes in. We get a power play for the Penguins, and they score on this one too. Their power play was perfect today. Tomasino deflects in a net feed glass on O'Connor with the assist at 6:58 with 1 second left in that power play. So the Islanders' penalty kill really taking it on the nose today. Shots 8-3 Penguins at 9 minutes. Beauvillier can't bury one in close. The Penguins are in total control at this point, up by 3. Siplikov is a net drive that's blocked. The Islanders press with 7.5 minutes left, and Patrick Waugh, being Patrick Waugh, pulls the goaltender with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left, and it works. At 12:59, Lee tips in a one-timer Romanov had from the point, and so that makes it 3-1. So you pull the goalie again, and at 16:10, it's Lee again, getting a goal from Horvat that went off Ryan Graves' ankle. So I know Graves has gone without a point for a while, but hey, he's helping. Rust is robbed as the Penguins are pressing. The goalie pull happens with 1:45 left. The Islanders call a timeout with 21 seconds left. They almost tied this. They did, but they don't. So Pittsburgh holds on. They win this one 3-2. They go to 17-16-5 with the win. With the loss, the Islanders 14-16-7 on the season. Shots on net, 6 apiece in the first, 20-15 Pittsburgh in the second, 15-10 Pittsburgh in the third. Final shots 41-31 Pittsburgh. Power plays, the Islanders 0 for 2, Pittsburgh 2 for 2. The hits 12 apiece. So not an overly physical game. Hogberg saves 38 out of 41. He was very good. Nedeljkovic saves 29 out of 31. He was very good as well, which I don't think we would have expected seeing Hogberg and Nedeljkovic before the game got started. Just in general, we wouldn't expected that to be one of the better goaltending duels of the day. All right, moving along. Ottawa and Minnesota. So Merrilainen versus Gustafsson. Starting to think Ottawa might be okay without Ullmark for a little while. There's a near miss for Ben Jones in close. He's looking for his first NHL goal. The Wild press at 2.5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 3-1 for Minnesota, 4 minutes in. Things are pushy on a hold by Gustafsson. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Shabbat has a net drive that's blocked. The Sens press at the half. The Wild get pinned down for a bit. They block the net pretty well, though. And then there's a press by the Wild with 7 minutes left. The Senators get pinned down for a bit. Senators press with 3.5 minutes left. But at 17-19, Minnesota scores first. It's Chisholm putting one past the screen from the high slot. Foligno and Trennan with the assists, so 1-0 Minnesota there. Things that are pushy on a hold by Merrilainen. It stays 1-0 after 1 for Minnesota. Second period, 1 minute and 47 seconds in. Gregg buries one from the doorstep. Hamonic and Tkachuk with the assists. Sens press for the lead. In fact, the shots are 9-0 Ottawa 4.5 minutes in. So today's games, it feels like the shot totals were pretty high, which is good. I like seeing more shots on net. There's a near miss by Gaudette from in close. There's more pressure by the Senators at 7.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Wild. That's killed off. Boldy has a chance after that's held by Merrilainen. Sens press with 8.5 minutes left. The shots are 13-4 for Ottawa with 5 minutes left. We then had a fight between Gregor and Jones. Hartman has a rush chance that's held. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period. Early press by the Wild. The shots are 6-3 Minnesota at 5.5 minutes. And Minnesota with some momentum, but Sens have a 3-on-2 that misfires. We then get a power play for Ottawa. Shabbat has a one-timer that's held. We get some pushing. Power play's killed off. However, Ottawa draws another power play. Gaudette has a one-timer that's held, and then at 12:42, Norris goes glove side from the right circle to get the power play marker. Sanderson and Batherson with the assists. It's 2-1 Ottawa. Sens look for another. The fans call one. The referee does not. The Wild press with 3 minutes left. Eventually, they pull the goalie in at 19:16. Giroux gets the empty netter to make it 3-1. The Wild would get another power play to end out the game. Your final score is 3-1. Ottawa goes to 19-15-2 with the win. With the loss, Ottawa 22-11-4. They've just been slowly sliding down the standings. Shots on net, 10-9 Ottawa in the first, 13-7 Ottawa in the second, 15-14 Minnesota in the third. Final shots 37-21 for Ottawa. Power plays, the Sens 1 for 2, Minnesota 0 for 2. The hits 26-18 Minnesota. Merrilainen saves 30 out of 31. Gustafsson was very good, 34 saves on 36 shots. Just didn't get the goal support. I didn't see that one coming. How about you? All right, so moving along. Calgary and Vegas. So it was Vladar versus Samsonov. Early press by Vegas. Holtz has a rush chance that saved. The shots are 4-0 for the Golden Knights. We're only 3.5 minutes in. Flames press at 7.5 minutes. We have a near miss for Olofsson from the slot. Dorofeev has a shot that's caught and held. We have a power play for Vegas, and Vladar kills that. They had 6 shots during that power play for Vegas. Kadri has a tip shot that's held. The Flames draw a power play. That becomes a 5-on-3. And it's 4 minutes, so it's a minute and 8 seconds of 5-on-3 and then a 5-on-4. Things are punchy in a hole by Samsonov. It's scoreless after the first, and there's only 50 seconds left in the Calgary power play to start the period. So Vegas does finish the kill, and then they get a turn on the power play. That was killed off as well. Shots are 4-1 for Vegas at 3.5 minutes. Teams trade turnovers. The Flames press at 7 minutes. Things are pushy on a hold by Vladar. Calgary goes back to the power play. That one's killed off as well. Stone with a near miss on a net drive. The shots are 8-5 for Vegas with 6 minutes left. The Flames press with 4.5 minutes left. But on a rush, Pietrangelo buries one from the slot at 15:59. Pearson and Howden with the assists. It's 1-0 Vegas. Then there's a press by the Golden Knights in the final minute. They come out of that second period with the 1-0 lead. Third period, shots are 1 apiece at 4 minutes. The Flames press at 5 minutes. The teams trade turnovers. Nice kick save on Zary. Shots are 6-2 Calgary at 7 minutes. So they're generating chances. Just Samsonov saying no. Vegas presses at 9 minutes. Olofsson has a wrister. That's held. We have a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Vegas goes back to the power play. Yeah, you can't give them that many opportunities. Olofsson scores from the right circle. He roofs one. Theodore and Eichel with the assists at 14:41. Vegas presses for another. The Flames press after they've got their goaltender pulled. Rasmus Andersson's denied. And then at 19:53, Tanner Pearson hits the empty net. Dorofeev and Theodore with the assists. Your final score is 3-0 for Vegas. They go to 25-8-3 with the win. With the loss, Calgary 17-12-7 on the season. Shots on net, 15-12 Vegas in the first, 11-9 Vegas in the second, 11-10 Vegas in the third. Final shots, 37-31 for the Golden Knights. Power plays, Calgary 0 for 4, Vegas 1 for 4. The hits, 20-12 for Calgary. Vladar was great, 34 saves on 36 shots. Samsonov just happened to save all 31 shots that he faced. So a couple of really nice goaltending duels. And you know what? All 3 of these I would qualify as goaltending duels. Definitely seems like after a slow start for the goalies, they're starting to get caught up a little bit here. All right, moving along. Dallas and Chicago. So it's Ottinger versus Soderblom. Reichel's denied on a fast break. The Hawks press at 4 minutes. Chicago had a good start. And generally this season, Chicago's had good starts to games. It's just the finishing the games that's been a bit of a problem. Robertson fires one wide on a rush. There's too many Blackhawks on the ice, so the Stars go to the power play. That was killed off, just the one shot, and not very good. Dallas's power play has been mostly a disaster this month. Kind of a slow-moving kind of disaster. The type that you don't want to look directly at, sort of like the sun, you know. Anyways, so the Hawks press after killing that power play. Robertson's denied on a rush. The shots are 3-2 for Dallas with 8.5 minutes left. We then get a power play for Chicago, and they score on it. Bedard, it's a slot shot that takes a Hawks bounce into the net. Bedard with his 10th of the season at 12 minutes and 20 seconds. Jones and Teravainen with the assists, so 1-0 lead for the Hawks. The Hawks go back to the power play. That's killed off. Dallas gets a turn on the power play. It's killed off as well. And then at 17-12, Ben scores from Dodonov and Stankoven. So it's 1-1 after the first. Second period, we get a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. And then the Stars get a turn. That's also killed off. Shots are 4 apiece, 8 minutes in. The Stars go back to the power play. It's a 5-minute power play. And 12 seconds into that 5-minute major, they score. It's Robertson from Ben and Heiskanen at 8:23. Now, the Hawks do kill the rest of the major, but you could feel that momentum swing had taken place. Dallas had a lead. A little bit more confidence here. Stars press with 6 minutes left. Nazar's denied as the Hawks get some pressure. And then at 14:46, I should say, Dodonov scores from Duchesne and Robertson. So Duchesne, ice cold lately, got some points today. We'll see if that gets things going for him. The Hawks press to respond, and with 3:21 left, Chicago draws a power play. That was killed off. Ottinger holds on to a chance afterwards. Hall has a rush chance that's blocked. It's 3-1 for Dallas after 2. Third period. 9 seconds in. Johnston, as his stick breaks, he deflects one top shelf. Duchesne with the assist. And then at 2:55, Duchesne buries a rebound at the net. Johnston and Heiskanen with the assists. So Wyatt Johnston getting some points, Duchesne getting some points, Robertson, a lot of players that Dallas has been looking for points from. They got them today, and they're up 5-1. Hawks press at 4 minutes. Blackwell fires one wide on a rush. The Hawks press with 7.5 minutes left. And then Maroon takes 2 penalties on the same play with a little over 4 minutes left. So he kills the rest of the game for Chicago. So there you go. Those power plays are killed off. But by the way that Maroon threw that second penalty, I don't think he cared. The final score in this one's 5-1 for Dallas. They go to 21-13-1 with the win. With the loss, Chicago 12-23-2. Shots on net, 5 apiece in the first, 14-10 Dallas in the second, 12-10 Dallas in the third. Final shots 31-25 for the Stars. Power plays, Dallas 1 for 7. Chicago, they go 1 for 4. The hits 19-7 for Chicago. So Dallas didn't throw very many hits. Ottinger saves 24 out of 25, and it's easy to overlook that he had a pretty good game because they did get 5 goals. Soderblom, 26 saves on 31 shots for him. That's going to hurt his overall statistics, but Dallas needed this one. We'll see if they can pick up any momentum from it. All right, and last game, Philadelphia and the LA Kings. Let's go ahead and get the score on there, shall we? Alakazam, there's the score. All right, Kolosov versus Riddick in this one, and when you saw those two goaltenders, were you thinking, might be some goals tonight? Yeah, I was thinking that myself. Kolosov and Riddick, both of them, statistically, if you look at Kolosov this year and if you look at Riddick in other years, they have those nights where goals are going in. So there's an early press by the Kings. The shots are 2-0 in favor of LA 4 minutes in, and at 5:14, PHI-LA roofs one from the left circle. Laferriere and Dano with the assists, so 1-0 LA there. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4, and Philadelphia scores a 4-on-4 goal. It's Forrester scoring from York and Sanheim at 8:16, and then Philadelphia would get the lead. Lawton buries a rebound. Michkov and Frost with the assists at 14:09. And I could just tell this game's going to have some goals in it. Good forechecking by Philly. The teams then exchange rushes. And at 16:54, Kempe ties the game. He buries this one from the slot on a one-timer. Clark and Turcotte with the assists. It's 2-2 after the first. Second period. Kings press at 2 minutes. There's a near miss for Kempe. Puck's cleared out. Shots are 5-2 for the Kings at 7 minutes. Laferriere fans on a net drive chance that he had. The Kings press at 8 minutes, but at 11:03, Michkov banks one in off Riddick. This has been going on a lot lately. Guys are just banking them in off goaltenders. So Michkov gets that one from Lawton and Ristolainen. The Kings press with 7 minutes left at 13:42. Farabee scores to get one for Philadelphia. Hathaway with the assist. And so that makes it 4-2 in favor of the Philadelphia Flyers. But at 15:04, Fogle scores to make it 4-3 for LA. The Kings press in the final minute. So yeah, it's 4-3 for Philly after 2. Third period, Tippett's denied on a net drive. In fact, shots are 5-0 for the Flyers, 3.5 minutes in. They played a very good road game, and then things would go through a little bit of a turn here. Clark has a net feed this block. The Kings press at 6 minutes, and at 6:43, Kopitar buries a rebound. Byfield and Moverara with the assists on that. Power play then for the Kings, and they score on it at 8:55. 5 seconds into the power play, Kopitar scores. Kempe with the assist. That makes it 5-4 in favor of the LA Kings. The Kings press with 7 minutes left. The Flyers get a power play that makes it a power play to make it 4-on-3, which becomes 5-on-4. Everything's killed off there. The goalie pull happens with 2:45 left, and the Flyers had some looks, just could not get a goal past Riddick. And so the LA Kings hold on. They win 5-4. They go to 21-10-5 with the win. Philadelphia 16-17-4 with the loss today. Shots on net, 6 apiece in the first, 9-8 LA in the second, 7-5 Philly in the third. Final shots 21-20 for Philadelphia. So there were 9 goals on 41 shots in this game. Power plays, Philadelphia did not score on the only one they had. LA scored on the only one they had. Hits 24-14 LA. Kolosov, 15 saves on 20 shots. Ugly stat line there. Riddick with the win, 17 saves on 21 shots. Kind of an ugly stat line there as well. So, entertaining game. I'm sure that Tortorella's probably mildly frustrated after this one. I can imagine some expletives in the post-game presser. But at any rate, we're done kind of early tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.